Okay, this tutorial is going to be focused a little bit on triggers, and one of the uh, short projects we're going to work on is developing a single slide interface, if you will, that we can do a lot of different things with by simply using a trigger. And a trigger, don't get too uh, don't get don't get too focused on it. Just think of it as a trigger basically says, if you click on this, then that is going to happen. If A, then B is like what I want to say. So I'm just going to put on a couple of different things on this slide here so you can kind of see how it works. So I'm just going to click on a shape here. I'm going to add this rectangle. And then I'm going to add another oval. Okay, so I've got two shapes on here. And while we're on this, I want to show you another little trick. And I'd like you to start thinking about this as you develop bigger slides. This is probably something you should start thinking about doing, and that is naming your objects. And we talked about this in one of the tutorials that Microsoft, whenever you create something and put it on a slide, it automatically will name it. And it names it a generic name. And here you can see we have rectangle 1 and oval 2. And the way I got there, if we didn't see that again, is you click on Home, and you come over here to Select, and you have the selection pane. And this is what this is, selection pane. Now, if I click on one of these little eyeballs, if I click that out and it's no longer there, you can see that it disappears. So that's kind of a cool way. If you have a lot of different things on your slide, you can take those out of there for the time being and work on one different thing so you don't get confused. So if I want to rename these so I don't get too lost, just simply double click on there, and I can rename it anything I want. So that comes in handy if you have a whole bunch of different ovals or different shapes in there that you really don't want to get confused on. So I can name them whatever I want. So I can just name it circle or square. Obviously, if we had a number of different things, we can name it, like I said, whatever you want to keep track of what it is you have on the screen. So I have my circle and I have my square. Now what I'm going to do so we can demonstrate this a little bit is I'm going to add an animation to my circle. So I want to make it a wheel, just for the heck of it. So I'm going to open my animation pane so I can see that. Okay. And close that selection pane. So if I double click on this animation and I go over here to timing, I can see that there's a little button down here called triggers. And if I click on that, I can say start on the effect of, and if you click on that down arrow, you can see that it lists everything that's on your slide. Well, we only have two things on the slide, and that is the circle and the square. So if I say start effect on the click of the square, it's going to say, okay, what will happen is when I play the slide now, you can see there's nothing there. When I click on this, there it is. There's my animation. So you can see how that works, and it can get a lot more complex as we go along, but the more items that you have on there. But that's basically what that does, is you can make things appear or disappear or whatever you want. So I'm going to put in another slide here so you can see how that's done with, let's say, a test we want to do for our students in class. So I'm going to insert a new slide. I'm just going to make it blank, and I'm going to insert shape, and I'm just going to make this real basic so we can show you how it is. So in this square, I'm going to type in there 2 plus 2 equals, oops, I'm sorry, equals 5. And I'm just going to do a wrong answer there. And I'm going to do another shape. True. And I'll copy that. Should have done that before I said true. That's okay. Come over here and we'll say false. So I want to rename these, okay? So we'll come back here to the home page. We're going to do the selection pane. See, I have 3 items. And whenever you click on that one, you're going to see that it highlights. So if I want to rename that false, double click on it, false. Then I click on true. See rectangle 2 lights up, true. And then maybe that one I'll just name it question. Okay. So I have 3 things here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the student to say or click on whether it's true or it's false. So if I do that, what I'm going to have to do is put something up there, some sort of a feedback to the student, whether or not that's correct. Okay. So if I do that, I want to just come up here and insert maybe another shape that says good job. And I'll make that, let's see here, make that a nice yellow color, and you can see that's rectangle 4, so we're going to name that great job. And let's see here, we can insert one more shape. We'll type in there oops, insert. So here I'll make that a nice red color. So now I have 2 different things on there. Insert. Okay, so now I've named all these items. Now I've got to link it up to say when I want these to appear. So if I want this to appear, I'm going to come in here to, and I want that to appear if they click on false, since that's the wrong answer. So I'm going to say, I'm going to appear. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to go into timing. I'm going to say start on the effect of false. Okay. And for this one, I'm going to make it appear there we go. Now it's showing up. So I'm going to make it appear. So that's the wrong answer. And I'm going to start that on the effect of true. So if the user clicks 2 + 2 = 5 and that's true, that's obviously the wrong answer, so something else can pop up. So let's give this a try. So you can see none of those 2 are on the screen yet. If I go up here and I click 2 + 2 = 5, that's true. Nope, sorry, wrong answer. So then I click over here on false. There it is. Great job. So you can see how you can start to make, and like we said, we can make this as complex, and it can get complex with the number of different things that you're going to put on your screen. But you can see how you can make this a really cool and easy learner engaging activity that you can do right in class, or the students could take home as part of a homework assignment or some other study material, and they can go through an entire PowerPoint with some interactivity that instead of just looking at a screen with bullet points on it, they can actually go through and interact with your screen and be able to apply their skills rather than just memorizing. All right, and we're going to work on this a little bit more with some advanced stuff that you're going to see, but this is a great way for you to remember how this kind of stuff works.